Hey everybody, it's Joe B. Sad, and I'm here right now with John Cherry, the kingpin of advertising, the owner of Carden and Cherry Advertising Agency. I'm trying to close the door to the office for
Got
questions.
these little bitty cameras.
Yeah, well, this is the future. This is the future of technology. The cameras are just getting smaller. I'm trying to close the door to the office so that we can have a little privacy, John. And I'm afraid I'm.
You're tearing my door up, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, home wrecker.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I hope. Yeah, the stopper was holding the door back.
Two functions you had to perform. One is close the door and pull up the stopper.
Oh yeah, well it's tricky. The stopper was kind of hidden out of view almost. It was actually tucked away.
In reverse, you had to undo the stopper first and then open the door.
Yeah, it was very, very tricky. And I'm also operating this technical gadget right now. But anyway, it's very exciting to be here with you, John. You were one of the kingpins in advertising. You're one of the you have one of the top ad agencies in the country, and your ad agency launched stardom for not just your agency but for also Jim Varney with your successful Hayvern commercials. Would you say that?
Well, Carden and Cherry is no longer in business.
You're not?
We're not. We're no longer the kingpin.
What?
we sold Carden and Cherry some time ago.
Oh, this is. I didn't know about that. This is terrible.
You need to talk to your research people back there at the station.
Well, but it still doesn't. It has nothing to do. It doesn't erode your accomplishments within the advertising world, right?
It depends on who you talk to.
Well, you sold your company, probably for a huge price, right?
No.
No. Oh, this is. Wait a minute. This is terrible, John. Anyway, I do know another thing though about you. I know you have probably a top-selling book right now. Keeper of the Clown is a new book that's out right now that you just wrote. I just read it. Fantastic read.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. It's first attempt at a book. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was going to actually write it. I told a bunch of stories about Jim and myself and the rest of the crew and things that happened over the years. And I would tell it at dinner parties or what have you, and people would say, "Well, you ought to put that in the book. You ought to put that in the book." And so I sat down and said, "Okay, I'll try it and see if anybody likes it."
Well, I loved it. It was a fantastic book, and those are the best books. I mean, those are real stories that was prompted by everybody that knows you, knows that you had this book in you.
Well, we'll see as it goes along. It turns out that the fun part, or a bunch of the fun parts, the characters wasn't. You had Jim, and with all of his talents and his timing is perfect.
Yeah.
Now, in the book, it's the agents, the lawyers, and the bankers, and the managers that spun around, and the Disney executives, all those people spinning around him, and all the things that happened about him and around him that triggered, I think, some of the funny stuff in the book.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a funny writer. You're not taking anything away from Jim, but you're a funny writer. I mean, I really enjoyed your writing style, and just all the stories. I mean, you started off. Your first big ad campaign was for Beach Bend Park, and I know a lot of people may not be familiar with Beach Bend Park, but I am. As a kid growing up in Nashville, I remember seeing those commercials. We couldn't wait to go to Beach Bend Park. And the commercials were so funny that we forgot about the rest. We didn't care that it kind of the park kind of sucked really. And there was I remember I got there and there was a horse on a rope when the horse was almost dead, and they let all the kids ride the horse, and that was like the big ride at Beach Bend Park. I can't really remember anything else. What am I forgetting?
the Vietnamese refugees eating the horse. It was the topper to that.
Okay. All right. But anyway, but I mean, to me, I want to be just like you.
You need some therapy.
I do, and that's another reason I came to see you. No, I mean, you are a pitch man. I mean, you pitched. You had all these clients that would come to your advertising agency, and you would pitch these ideas for television commercials, for shows, and then you went. Of course, you went on, and from the success of your television commercials, you were able to launch a movie company, and produced all these Ernest movies. You had how many movies was it?
10.
10 successful movies.
9 successful movies.
Oh, what happened to the 10th one?
The first one kind of went in the toilet.
And you have come up. You're the king of the pitch, and I hope you don't mind if I turn the tables on you a little bit. But I would like to pitch you.
This table?
No. The pitch. Advertising. I know you have pitched all the great advertising. A lot of the biggest advertising. A lot of the biggest, most successful advertising campaigns you have pitched. So I want to get your opinion on this right here. Acidophilus.
Acidophilus.
The Greek god of milk.
Right. It's called Lactobacillus
Yes.
acidophilus.
This is a potential campaign to promote and sell acidophilus milk. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking like a Greek god, some kind of a Greek god that spouts a mythology, mm-hmm. To guide us in our lives, and like a Greek god that comes out half man, half cow. That's the acidophilus god that gives advice to everybody. What do you think? What do you think of this? What's your professional opinion as an advertising kingpin?
How much are they paying us?
Yes. Okay, that's all we need to know.
No.
Huh? Do you think this would fly?
Yes, I think that's a clever.
Have you ever pitched anything like this before?
I actually had pitched the Lactobacillus acidophilus.
Yeah.
Which is Lactobacillus is milk bacteria.
Yeah.
And the acidophilus coats your stomach and it helps in digestion.
Yes.
So if you have a 2%, this is more information than you wanted to know.
Well, it's okay.
About lactobacillus.
I want to know about this stuff. You know this stuff. I know that you're the guy that knows this.
But if you name it acidophilus,
mm-hmm.
Unless they're familiar with it, it does sound like a Greek god. Acidophilus, right?
No, this was years ago. This was a long time ago. Now,
people in Nashville knew.
People in Nashville knew what it was because of purity, and I suppose because of your efforts.
Yeah, we did.
You did the acidophilus campaign, didn't you?
Yeah.
So and that was real successful, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this TV show Mad Men? All about the advertising world.
Oh yeah. I like that show.
Really?
Yeah. There's one coming on after that called The Pitch, which is ad agency. It's a documentary of ad agencies pitching against each other for the business. You mentioned earlier about we took after Beach Bend Park, which they went broke, and we put Ernest on the shelf. We had another client that was looking at our reel like 2 years later, and saw the
really 2 years later. Okay.
Saw the Ernest commercials, and they said, "I want that." It was Purity Dairies, and they said, "We want that. Do something with that Ernest guy." And I said, "Well, we've already done Ernest for another client," and they kept on about it. And I said, "Well, I'm going to get Jim and go shoot a different character and try to show you." So
Jim Varney.
Jim Varney, and show you another idea. So Jim and I went and we shot the new idea, went and pitched it to the folks at Purity, and they said, "No, we really like the earnest guy. We don't. That's nice that you went and shot something else, but we like that earnest. I said, well, okay. So I called up Jim and I said, I talked him into it, Jim. So we started shooting then, and Jim was so fast, and he could take 16 lines of copy, sit down, read it 3 or 4 times, stand up and do it, and not miss a lick.
Yeah.
And hit it 30 seconds right on the button.
Yeah.
Or I could say, Jim, we're going to hit you with the bat at when you say the word energy, and he could play it like he didn't even see it coming, and he's what a talent he was. We shoot 13 to 15 commercials a day.
Yeah.
And but he was something.
I remember Jim Varney. I had the good fortune of meeting him myself, and he gave me some early encouragement early in my career. But Jim Varney was a very special talent, but it also requires a special talent like that you had to recognize it and understand how to mold it and how to direct it.
Well, I had a lot of help. We had 4 or 5 guys on our writing staff.
Yeah.
And they were brutal, hard men that would say, that's not funny. Try something else. That's not funny at all. Well, I think it's funny. Well, we don't think it's funny. So it would go round and round. But we had a great time. And the writing crew. And Varney, I never saw Varney write anything down.
No kidding.
No, he didn't. He wasn't. But he would join the sessions. He would come by and sit down in on the session, and be as funny as he could be. And we'd be writing notes. We'd be taking notes down, because he had an offbeat sense of humor that we tried to capture. Like one time he came in and he said, just out we were talking about, I don't know, one of the scenes, and he just out of the blue said, there ain't no wood in Botswana. I said, what? He said, ain't no wood in Botswana. There ain't no wood in Botswana. Yeah, that's right. They got wire toothpicks. They got brick telephone poles. I'm a lumberjack, never had a job. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
And now Vern, on the other hand, the invisible Vern is because we couldn't afford another actor.
Oh. Oh, you just didn't want to pay for another guy.
So that's how that started.
Anyway, so what year was this? What year would this been 80, I'm guessing 87, 88 when the phone started ringing off the hook for more and more commercials, more Hey Vern commercials?
82.
82. Oh my, I'm way off. Okay. Really? And so I'm sure at a point it just seemed like it was never going to stop.
Well, we didn't know that it was going to do what it did. I'd like to tell you how smart we were, but after we sold 10, 15 commercials, we said, we ought to syndicate this.
And what you guys did, you guys syndicating the commercials, not sticking with any one product nationally, but being associated with a single product service, in every market, in a different market all throughout the United States. That was kind of a new concept, wasn't it?
I think it was. The media gave us credit for that, but it was new in the sense that we shot a new commercial. It wasn't a donut, it wasn't a commercial, and it was the same commercial in every market, and they just changed the advertiser. We shot a new spot every time, and that's what was new about it.
Yeah. So I read that you guys kind of broke all records in advertising world, and we're suddenly, the spotlight was on you guys throughout the entire advertising world and what you guys were able to accomplish in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and I think we were able to accomplish that because of Jim's talent, and he had a thing. He just had that thing.
Yeah.
And
So things are taking off like a rocket now. The advertising agency is booming. The phone's ringing off the hook, and then suddenly you guys get the attention of Disney.
That's right. Jim was at the Indianapolis 500 as one of the celebrities that were riding the parade that goes around the track, but with the movie stars and Mickey Mouse and all that in there. Mm-hmm. And they do the lap, and as it was going around, nobody paid much attention until Jim's car went by, and 500,000 people stood up and said, "Hey, Vern." And that's when Disney sought us out and find out what we were up to, because they didn't know they didn't know who Ernest was or never seen the commercials.
Right. And you get a phone call from Jeffrey Katzenberg. Isn't that right? Am I saying it right? Katzenberg, yeah. President of Disney, and you negotiate the deal between you guys and Disney. And I love that part of the book. I don't want to ruin it or give it away, but it's one of my favorite parts of the book, and it shows that you're like a hard-nosed negotiator.
Oh, I wouldn't say hard-nosed. I got my nose kicked in a few times, but I wouldn't say.
Well, it seemed like it all worked out well, and to me right now it seems like old ad agencies of the past is kind of a hot thing right now. The '60s Mad Men is like a hot show right now. I say we need to create a new '80s ad agency television show. We could pitch it right now. And it would be modeled after Carden and Cherry.
We would have to find another Jim Varney.
Well, we could do that. I'm sure. We're in Nashville.
I don't know. I've been looking a long time.
Have you? So that's the search. We're looking for the new Jim Varney.
Looking for the new Ernest.
Well, listen, I love the book. Congratulations on the book. The book is called Keeper of the Clown. It's by John Cherry. Check it out. You can download it. They can download it, right?
On Amazon or Hey Vern, It's Ernest website.
All right. Well, thank you very much, John Cherry. John Cherry from Carden and Cherry, and the producer and director of all the successful Ernest movies, Disney Ernest movies. Thank you for joining us. Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, if there ever is another Ernest, we'd like to have everybody participate in the new media. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll try.
We will figure it out right here and now. You and me, John, we will figure it out.